What is up, freaks and geeks, and welcome back to Corpses for Conversation, a music, movie, media, geek culture podcast. And today, guys, we are celebrating a birthday, 69th birthday. And no, it's not for your old pal Dimebag. It is for the one and only king, Godzilla. Today, with me here for this birthday celebration, I have in the room with me, getting high off of Mothra's poisonous spores, we got Toxic J.
Godzilla!
Getting released on bail for laying eggs in Madison Square Garden, we got Dimebag the Clown.
Oh, Godzilla!
And the one that's always trying to convince us that Roland Emmerich is the true father of Godzilla film, we got Richard Zom.
Gorilla!
And of course me, everyone's favorite Massacre Man, who is always just kind of wondering, how many vibration modes do you guys think Mechagodzilla really has? SoCal Leatherface. What is up, gentlemen?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
We sexualize the Godzilla with vibration settings. That's so wrong.
Oh man!
I mean, he did mention that he had Godzilla in this movie we're going to review. He had more junk in the trunk, so he did say something.
And I don't think he's wrong because I think there is female toys named Godzilla.
He got the Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, man, he
Going
was
to
thick
mecha
in the
mode.
thighs, man. The way I like him, thick in the thighs.
When you hit
those discount Godzilla whores.
Oh,
those discount homes.
the legit Tohos.
When you turn up that Mecha Godzilla, you see the lights start to, that's when you're getting maximum performance.
This is going off the trails fast.
I know. I know.
And look at Dime's serious face. He knows he's brought home a couple lizard people before.
Anyways, okay.
Hey, I used to be a trucker, right? I know all about those lizards.
Woo! Oh, God.
Okay, all right, gentlemen, we're going off topic here. So what movie do we have for us today?
Godzilla Minus One. It's been a few years since we've gotten a Godzilla film, and this was definitely the one that a lot of us fans have been waiting for. This is a much different Godzilla than all the American adaptations that we've been getting for the past couple of years. There wasn't no Walter White wasn't in here trying to stop Godzilla. We got straight back to the core of what Godzilla stood for.
And this is the first Godzilla I've seen in a long time, besides, Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla the King of Monsters. I didn't really get into Godzilla as far as like the remakes that came out a few years back. Have watched the 1964's Godzilla, the classic.
The classics,
Yeah, I love those. But this one, going into this one, I was like, wow, this is...
Dime's got scattered brain. It wasn't 64. It was 54.
Oh, 54. My bad. My bad.
No, I guess that's the first time he saw it because he was 10 in 1964.
Yeah, true.
Remember, clowns, they don't age like normal people's do.
They age like a fine Limburger cheese.
Oh, sorry.
Like, just going down the block between you guys, do you remember what movie or introduction to the King of the Monsters was for you? I'm going to start with you, Dime.
Just the classic, watching it as a kid, seeing it on, we didn't have cable back then, but it was on TV religiously. Watching, Godzilla with the rubber suit, and, stepping on model trains, model cars,
What about you, Zom?
The most vivid one I can fully remember where I was impressed with the color schemes and everything, and I might butcher the title or name, but it's when you see Godzilla face off against Mothra.
So it could be Godzilla versus Mothra, or
Godzilla versus Mothra.
she's been in more than one Godzilla film, but yeah it could be it.
I just remember that I was thoroughly impressed with the color scheme and all that they were doing for Mothra. Like it blew my mind as a kid. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then Godzilla was just scary, but he was like cool scary. And I enjoyed the movie just to see them go back and forth. And Mothra was a badass too.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was King of the Monsters.
What about you, SoCal?
All right, guys. I don't mean to turn off the whole room here. I'm sorry.
Oh,
First full length. I know the first
the
full length, and I mean we're all throwing ages out there, right? But I'm just saying the first full length film I did see. I went to the theaters in 1998, and I saw Ferris Bueller take on Godzilla himself.
Turn his mic off. Automatic
That's it.
I
disqualification.
know. But that is a good thing, though, because you start from the bottom, and there's only a way to go up from there. I discovered the better Godzilla as years went on, but that was the first full-length film I've seen. I've seen a couple skits of it.
But that's not even like bottom. They don't even count that movie in the Godzilla first, really.
I know, he's just like a straight-up dinosaur. I know, it's not even Godzilla. It was just like a big raptor.
And it's funny because on Sunday I went to Whammy's, which is like a vintage VHS collectible store, and they had like a swap meet. Your cousin Poison loves that movie, and we found it there for like $3, and I was like, okay, you can keep it in your stash. Yeah, I'm not
That's
gonna.
too expensive.
Going back to me, my first introduction to Godzilla, it would probably have to be Terror of Mechagodzilla. I believe that one came out in the 70s, but I also remember pre-Joe Bob Briggs' Monster Vision. They used to have, it was like a month-long Godzilla-thon or something on TNT for Monster Vision. All month long, they showed nothing but Godzilla films.
Yeah, I remember that. It was awesome.
I remember, I don't know how many films that they showed. Maybe like
a lot.
It was 4 Saturdays, so they had like 4 movies each. I just drank a bunch of caffeine. And I just, when you're younger, that's like an energy drink.
I'm all hopped up on Godzilla and Mountain Dew. Woo!
I've watched every good, bad, and horrible Godzilla films, but you know what? I'll take any Godzilla film. Like, I just love the character, the franchise. If it's good, bad, whatever. Except the Matthew Broderick one, but that's besides the point. But that's my first introduction to Godzilla. Leading up to, like, I do enjoy the MonsterVerse. It's just plain like Super Smash Brothers. You just go in there, turn your brain off, and just watch a bunch of monsters kick the crap out of each other. Minus One is probably the first Godzilla film that I really, really loved the characters. Godzilla, just adding was just a bonus, but I've truly loved all these characters. I've fought with people over the internet saying, all the human characters, in the previous films, all those characters were boring as shit, okay? This is the one where I really felt emotionally connected to, and
Oh, yeah, you did.
me, SoCal, and Dime all went to go see Minus One together. We all had different opinions on how we felt emotionally about this film, but we all roughly agree how the film is.
Some of us did fall asleep, though.
Yeah, and it wasn't me.
Or me.
It was me.
SoCal
I mean,
memes.
you know when it's very warm and you're just kind of in those like nice little comfy seats, and I had like a little heater on my left side right here. We had stiff kittens over here generating all this heat. I couldn't help it, man. I was about to take off my jacket. I'm like, I need a jacket. I need some cold water. I need something to wake me up. I wanted to get some candy, but I didn't want to miss the movie.
He had his mouth open, so you know he was out for a good few seconds.
I was in and out. The movie does have some slow points. It does have, like you said, lots of character development. It's not a bad thing. It could be a good thing. When Godzilla is attacking, the music is just roaring. The Godzilla's roaring. Everything's getting destroyed. So much noise. But then when it's just about the characters, it gets super quiet. And people are practically whispering. So it kind of just like put me to sleep how like soothingly comfortable it was.
And you actually did care about the characters in this movie. As far as I'm gonna butcher. I'm not even gonna try the names, but It was a little long. It's roughly over 2 hours. When the action was on screen, it was on screen.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You could tell Dime was super into this movie because if anybody knows him, he always has to piss like a racehorse like every 5 minutes. He did not get up at all.
I wanted to, but I was like, dude, I'm gonna miss something, bro.
He had to tough it out.
Rocking them depends for the theater, huh, Dave? Nice.
You know, it kind of enhanced my feeling towards the film because, you know, I did have a high alcohol beverage before going into there. So it just made everything pop. Oh my God, this is so cool. So
Yeah, I look over to TJ. All I hear is. Yeah, like, you okay there, buddy?
Dom's like, motherfucker, you crying?
Yeah. I'm like, you need a tissue?
I was probably one step away of grabbing his hand. I'm like, I just need moral support.
I know, like, what's the matter, TJ? He's like, Godzilla killed all those people.
But see,
my theater buddy.
and like I said, the movie's still in theaters. It is amazing. Like, Hollywood should really take notes. This film was made on a $15 million budget. And it looks phenomenal, and you could tell they spent every bit of penny on that film. And right now, it's sitting at $35 million. That's everybody got paid.
Oh yeah.
And it's a good thing you would mention that, TJ, that America needs to take notes because Gareth Edwards, who directed the 2014 American version of Godzilla, actually went to a screening to see this. And he even admitted that while watching it, he was just pure jealous. And this is what a Godzilla movie should be. Even he had to make praise with this one.
That says a lot, dude. Like, this made me feel all kinds of emotions. Originally, I thought, I'm sitting over next to Dime, and I'm thinking in my head, oh, he's not saying much. He's not. All I hear is, He reminds me of, like, Mordecai and Rigby from the regular show when they ever, Oh, man, I don't think he likes it. And it kind of bummed me out, and then I was just, oh, man. But then after we did our out-of-the-theater reaction, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, right on. But, yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but the base of the movie is, how do you even sum this up? It starts off, it's based in the 40s, right after World War II. A kamikaze fighter pilot just basically, I guess, brought shame to his unit, chickened out at the last minute. He was pretty much a big disgrace.
The traitor.
Yeah, more or less. And then he gets... Did he get stunned?
Hopefully he chose to live, so I didn't fault him on that. He's like, screw this, I'm coming down.
Right.
Safely,
I love how
it's
like their planes, they didn't realize that they could just eject. They're like, you mean we could just jump out the plane? I mean,
but
it came into play later. It's just like, our planes don't have that function. It should have had the function.
Yeah, exactly. When you first see Godzilla comes out in the next, the first 7 minutes of the film?
Yeah,
but
pretty early.
He does look like a T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I was like, why is he so small?
I got scared for a second because we just mentioned that movie. I was like, oh no, it's 98 Godzilla all over again. And I'm like, oh.
I didn't think it was Godzilla. I thought it was going to be an enemy of Godzilla, like a smaller, some type of dinosaur or something. I didn't even know it was going to be Godzilla. But I love how when they were like, what is that creature out there? And the one guy says it like, I know of this. It is Godzilla. And then all of us here in the front row were all like, Godzilla. All of us said it at once.
You know, and yeah, he did look like the Matthew Broderick version. I'm like, man. And I guess it takes place a year later, fighter pilot, and I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher any names, so I'm not gonna. Just the main character.
I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
even.
The
main character.
Yeah, like he goes back to his hometown and it's just destroyed by Godzilla.
Leveled.
Yeah. There's nothing. You know, he meets this. He just met her off the street, right? The lead actress.
She's just a random chick.
Yeah, they were chasing her, and she gave him the baby, and she's like, "Here, hold this," and she just runs off, and the cops come by chasing her. He sees her down the road, and he's like, "Where'd you go?"
Yeah, that movie would have ended real quick if it was based in Zom's reality. Some girl come up to him, nope. That movie, nope, drop it right on the ground, walk away. Nope.
It's like credits.
Hell,
I know the film is really like it's difficult to explain if you're just trying to go off the synopsis. You know, it's like the main character's there. His town gets destroyed. Some random chick moves in with him because she said so. She also brings a baby and says, "Hey, we're living here, so get used to it." And then he just says, "Okay," and he just goes along with it. So that's like the main thing of the main characters. And then there's Godzilla.
Yeah, and then so she ends up moving in with him. Like she's like, okay, and she didn't even ask. She's like, "Oh, we're moving in." Okay,
because he was so ashamed. He was like, "Well, I can't defend myself, so okay, just come on in."
Yeah, like the only person that knew him was like his neighbor, and even she hated him, so he had to make friends with someone who had no idea who he was.
Because she found out that he chickened out during the war and all this other stuff. But obviously you see this like relationship develop between our two lead actor and actors. And we said this off camera. It's just bro had some savage moments, especially with the little girl. Oh,
phenomenal.
Is that your daughter?
Oh
no,
yeah.
I'm not your dad or something. Like that.
When she even called him daddy, he was like, "Oh, no, wait, whoa, back that up. Not your dad. Let's get that one clear first. I'm not your dad."
He's like, "I ain't getting stuck with 18 years of payments."
I know. I'm not your dad and not your mom. They died. That was harsh, man. Definitely harsh.
Yeah, it was. And then, but the neighbor finally kind of comes around and babysits the girl and I guess adopts her as her aunt.
Something like that. I just love how savage she was in the beginning, though, when she just, "You were supposed to die, fool." I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
It's like, I was thinking about that on the way home. I had a long drive. I was thinking about it, and I'm just, well, if you live through a tragedy, your home is destroyed, a lot of neighbors, family's dead, you kind of just make a new family with the survivors that live close to you, and you kind of create your own bonds. That's why she kind of became the aunt.
I kind of see where they threw in a little bit of the perspective from like the side of a soldier, because guys who were coming back from Vietnam got treated with the same disrespect. So I kind of see where they put that in there, because he literally just got home. He's trying to find his family. And like TJ and SoCal are saying, he's expecting to come home to not see all this be as bad as it is. And then out the gate, the neighbor's like, "What are you doing here? Like, you were supposed to die, you bastard. What the hell?" And he's, "Really? I just got home." Really? Like,
and on top of all of it, she says that this
probably punched her in the head.
She said that happened because of him. She said if you would have done your job, then none of this would have happened. That's a lot of pressure. Like, he would have went into like the Pentagon and destroyed the whole U.S. Army, the whole army they were going against.
I get it. It's in their culture. I don't know. But I don't think, if you really think about it, all he was supposed to do is get in his plane when T-Rex Godzilla was attacking all those soldiers. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry.
T-Rex Godzilla.
Yeah. So he snuck onto the plane and was just basically going to pump him full of lead, but he chickened out. Now,
I would too, a big ass.
Okay, but if you really think about it, do you think those bullets would have had any effect on him?
Hell no.
No, not at all. That's why.
He would have died anyway, so I think he was like, "Man, screw this, I'm out."
That's like towards the end.
Godzilla was flicking people like marbles, bro. Like, nah.
Towards the end of the film, he was supposed to have this huge epiphany, like, "Oh, I chose to live." It's like, no, he chose to live at the beginning by not kamikazing himself. He chose to live by not shooting him with the gun.
He chose to do it again.
You chose to live a lot of times. But we've been giving a lot of praise to the writing of this, like we said, towards the actors, the storyline, the visuals of Godzilla. This is all thanks to, now I'm not going to butcher this name, Takashi Yamazaki. Because this guy is not only the writer.
That's how you say it, yeah.
Yeah, he's the writer, he's the director, and he was the visual effects supervisor, because he wanted to make sure that Godzilla looked exactly how he wanted. This guy, all of the praise we're giving is all due to this one man.
I'll cheers him up. Yamazaki-san, dude. Good stuff, man. Thank you.
Yes, cheers.
Hands down, this probably has to be the scariest version of Godzilla ever.
Oh, yeah, he was fierce. Fierce looking.
I saw some reviewer on YouTube saying, "Well, I don't like the eyes." The eyes says it all. And just looked.
He looked pissed off.
He wasn't an anti-hero or a hero. It just went back to basics. I'm blaming you because the way I look, and I'm going to destroy this city.
Exactly. It was full-on NFG version of Godzilla. No fucks given. You were just done.
Yeah, and speaking of back to basics, I mean, when you see Godzilla moving through the city and you see the movement of him, you see the look of him, like you guys said, his lower half, he got some thick thighs. The way he looked in this film just reminded me of classic Godzilla film. You said they were trying to make him look like he was a guy in a costume, but he was this huge monster. And even when it came down to his roar, did you guys know that for this movie, for his roar, instead of choosing one of the newer roars from the newer films, they chose to use the original roar from the classic films, but they just played it on a very loud speaker and recorded it. So it's the original roar.
Okay.
That's awesome. Same thing with his original intro music. It was all from the original series. It was like, oh my god, like that nostalgia went through my brain with the goosebumps. I was like, oh dude, that's the original audio.
I got a question for you guys. To make Godzilla's roar, how do you guys think it was made?
There was a microphone underneath his arm after having Taco Bell.
Richard, is there something you want to say? You look like you want to get something out.
Here it comes! Oh, hot, 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 hot! Hot, 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 hot! Hot, hot, hot!
Oh my God!
God, that's Richard.
Rip one here.
That's a visual I do not want to see.
that was actually that was my guess actually right there.
No,
See?
I think
See?
he put a pillow over a cat and he stepped on its tail.
now oh man, okay. So all it was, from what I remember, I think it was like a big stand-up bass. I think, but all going across with a rubber glove, and that's how they came out with the sound. I think it's a stand-up bass. I'm not 100% sure. I should have thought I did my research. I knew it. Now I can't think. My mind's going blank. But that's pretty much how they got the original Godzilla roar.
Oh wow!
Now having the old school original Godzilla theme, like I got goosebumps when I heard that. And then I automatically think shit's gonna go down. You know?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Or
And
even when
this movie-
SoCal was talking about his lower body, I was cracking up because the newer age kids, right? I'm like, oh my god, they gave Godzilla yams. No, no, my boy got yams. No,
Oh no! No, 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 no! Oh no! No, 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 no!
And tell me why, because like the whole thick thighs bit. I don't know why I got a visual. I don't know why. Okay, whatever.
Cardi B.
No, I got a
There's
visual. No, I got a visual of SoCal Leatherface walking up to Godzilla and smacking that ass. I don't know. Way to go, big boy.
Get that dump truck over here.
Oh my God.
She had a big old butt, thighs like a truck, like King Kong.
So we're getting back to the music.
Oh man!
Got to give a huge shout out to Naoki Sato. Like he said, it incorporated that classic 1954 theme music into the movie, and that just popped, dude. Once that jumped on screen, I was like, oh, dude, hell yeah.
No, yeah, the execution for the cadence of the special effects, the special effects sound, the audio cadence, the Godzilla roar, like everything on that level, it was done correctly with due respect to what Toho started. They went through all the old files, they grabbed the best clips, they ran everything through, like you said, filters, they re-recorded it the best way possible, and it came across flawless. Like that truly added to the essence of making this Godzilla movie great, because they paid homage to the original. They did their due diligence to bring it across the film for a new age audience, but just to keep those little nuances, to pay that respect forward with, like, it was done masterfully, I'll say that.
And Freaks and Geeks, for those of you that do not know, official Godzilla Day is November 3rd. And on November 3rd of 2022, Takashi Yamazaki announced that he was going to be releasing this film, this year in 2023 for Godzilla Day. So over in Japan, it did release on November 3rd. And this is actually the closest American release to a Japanese release that they have. Typically, it could take 3 months or so on, but we got it within a month.
I got married 10 years ago on Godzilla Day. I love it.
It was meant to be, man. It was meant to be.
They'll be like, why did you get married on November 3rd? Oh, because it's on Godzilla Day.
It's like, Godzilla was the one that married you. Like, geez, hey.
I can see TJ at the altar with his little phone watching Godzilla movies, like, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I do.
Not even
I do.
like, yeah, sure.
Whatever she
I
says,
guess-
yeah, I do. That's fine.
They're like, wait, what did I get myself into?
What did you say?
Me and Zom will go back and forth. Obviously, there's a Josh reference in there, and
Josh?
I said
Oh,
Josh.
Josh. You said Josh.
I said Josh. Oh, okay, I don't know.
Who the
why.
hell's Josh?
You know who Josh is? Josh is our number one fan. Thank you.
Yes.
For listening.
Oh, there you go.
Shout out to Josh.
Shout out to you, buddy.
I think because Zom said, "Oh, that's ripping it off." I don't know. I don't remember how you said it, even though we talked about it about an hour ago. But clearly it was just an homage to it. But in all honesty, this was a lot scarier than a shark.
No.
Oh yeah, that huge man, Godzilla coming after you on that boat. I'm like, they got no chance. All those bullets just bouncing off. Oh man.
Yeah,
And he just still keeps pressing forward. I mean, you could kill a shark, but you can't really kill Godzilla.
The fact that they show that.
And he
Oh,
did
yeah,
that
of
little
course.
S
Yeah.
pattern, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm coming for you,
I
buddy.
like the fact they showed that. But But because TJ pointed it out, you know I'm not going to let you guys down. Zom don't let you down like that. That was my haterade moment where I was just like, really?
Well, don't shed a tear. Haterade is here. The new Haterade Thirst Quencher non-fruit juice comes equipped with 30 milligrams of potassium, 14 grams of carbohydrates, and 100% haterism.
Like, I've seen that. I've seen that. I've seen that.
Jaws moment.
Yeah.
No, like what Dime said, yeah, like that little S movement he was doing. And if you look at the film and you look at that scene, you could clearly tell that the King of the Monsters was totally screwing with him.
Yeah.
You know, just the way he was looking and doing that, I'm like, what do you do? What do you do, or how do you feel in that moment? If that was me, I'd be like, I'm gonna die.
All you needed was like a pimp version of Barry White, like in voiceover, and just guys are like, "Oh, you have no idea. I'm gonna get your ass. I'm coming for you. I'm fucking with you."
And you can see it in his eyes too.
Yeah, of course you could see it in his eye. Even when they put that big ass bomb in his mouth and they fired the big ass gun right in it, did his face kind of
blew the whole side of
blew off a cheek. Yeah.
And the scary part about that, it wasn't so much the visual, but it was the sound of his skin regenerating. What made it more creepy? How do you kill this thing that can't be killed? Yep. You know,
that was the first thing they said on the boat too. And they're like, "We're screwed."
Yeah, I know.
I was like,
the power of radiation.
What the fuck?
I know, at that moment, that's when everything was over. When I saw the skin just come back and his cheek just like rebuilt itself, I'm like, that's it, man. There's nothing you could do to kill this thing.
Now, was that before the town meeting when all the villagers and some of the soldiers got together? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, that was way before the town meeting.
Yeah, that was
way
before
town.
Okay, so obviously we're just kind of little bouncing back and forth because after all, we just saw the movie last week, so we're still trying to kind of remember what
3 days ago.
Yeah,
that's
so
2 days ago.
Everyone has lost hope, and all these basically they were just band of misfits. Our government is not helping us. The United States isn't helping us. We got we got to handle
they
this.
Just got done with the war, you know.
Yeah,
we just got done with the war. Like, hey, now that the war is over, can you guys help us? We're a monster now.
We're dealing with Russia. We can't fight the lizard people.
Can we borrow one of those A bombs? Is that cool?
You know, yeah, but if King Kong was climbing on the Empire State Building, can we help? Can you help us? No, yeah, come on, man. You know,
we got giant lizard problems. We can't. Sorry, we're over here dealing with this.
Obviously, when he wreaks havoc on the city for the first time.
That was so good.
It's just it was so good, especially that train scene.
Yeah,
you know, I just thought it was a little funny, just how you get to the glimpse of the scene of the main actress on the train and her posture standing up really still, not bothering anybody, and all of a sudden, it just looked weird. So all of a sudden,
bothering me.
Godzilla's raft just land right on the tracks and obviously destroy stuff. I don't know, it was just really weird how there was a cart full of people and all of a sudden whoop, they're all gone and it's just her hanging on a bar.
Yep.
You know, just
they fell out.
I know,
they were done.
I get that. It just happened so fast.
Yeah, well, that scene reminded me, for the gamer heads here, Uncharted 2, when Nathan Drake has to climb the train. I was like, oh man, I wouldn't even know how to think in that moment. She was just, well, I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna die hitting the water. She went for it.
You know,
to place yourself in a real life scenario like that's kind of hard.
And she was tough though.
But the guys who made that scene for me when that happened was the news crew guy. No one was like, "Oh, we're going down," and he's still reporting.
He's just retarded right there. President just walking by.
I'm going to be stepped on.
These are my final moments. I'm going off the side of the building. Yeah, fly down. We gotta go.
As the building is falling, they're still recording. I'm like, that's some dedication right there.
That was a Titanic moment. Like the guys go down with the crew home was like, I'm reporting to the end.
You know, at that point, I'd be like, later.
Yeah, that perspective view though too, just from showing that roof as it's tumbling, and I mean tilted, they kind of had their footing, but you're gonna slam full force into the floor. Ugh,
you know, and then just you see everyone's running hysterically because you have this.
Dude, those close-up shots of him crushing people.
You know,
just pancaking people.
I even said this. I don't know if I said
every
this
step
to Dime or Poison in the theater. If I put myself in that scenario, dude, I think if I knew I was gonna die and I had a slim chance of surviving, I'd be like, screw it. I would go towards his feet and just kind of try to go the opposite way because he's gonna walk past me or crush me or whatever. But
he's gonna get you with the tail.
You would run straight through?
No, I would probably, I don't know, try to hug his feet or something, and just try to
just hop on there, really?
Yeah. Okay, this is a good spot to jump. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I guess at that point you have to take a gamble.
When he was wreaking havoc in the city, right, I kind of put a little bit of different scenarios in my head together because he was focusing on destroying the city and just wreaking havoc in general. But at the beginning of the film, when he goes after the guys firing at him, he was able to individually focus on people at night. So that tells you his vision is phenomenal. And he was snacking on dudes, just biting them, and not even to enjoy them. He just bit on them to get them to stop and like shooing them, like launching them 10 to 30 feet one direction, 10 to 30 feet another direction. That was truly scary to see that happen.
Okay, so this is where the plot kind of gets, I don't want to say a little silly, but it's just, we have our two main actors and actress in between like an alleyway, and they're, exchanging dialogue. The girl sacrifices herself, pushes our main character into the alley, and she's seen blown away by...
Yeah, that was a no-go for me.
By the destruction of Godzilla. Didn't get stepped on, it's just the impact of his foot hitting the ground.
Yeah.
And then she flies away. And that was a tough scene because at that point you learn to start to love that character.
It wasn't the foot step. She was feeling the ramifications of him.
Oh, was that it?
He was blowing something up that caused that atomic blast.
Yeah, okay. It was the first time he charged up. And
that's why I was like...
I love that sound.
Yeah, that's why when I saw her get hit by that shockwave, I'm like, oh yeah, she's been liquefied. She's beyond done.
When he's powering up like that too, you see the little boop, turkey's done. No, the little scale is coming up.
Yeah, they were just like.
Dude, that was pretty badass.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she got superpowers from there. You never know.
Well, they did show that on the back of her neck at the scene in the hospital where I think she gets infected.
Hey, dude, chill! Don't spoil it yet. Come on.
I ain't spoiling shit.
And obviously, our main actor is like devastated. And what got me was like the little girl. Where's mom? And then he has to lie to her. Oh, she went away. Like that's all he can say.
She cried anyway. She was like, no, not away.
You're lying to me, I can tell.
I know, dude. They like straight ugly cry in this movie, too. They don't try to make it look nice. They just ugly cry every time.
The little girl, and that's the funny, because I was like, I don't know if someone had comment. I don't know if it was you, SoCal, or you, Dime. Like, someone must have done something really messed up during filming to make that girl actually cry like that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, here, let me get a puppy, and then you just cracked it in half, and she was crying. Okay, you had just mentioned when the female main character gets blown away in this blast, and when he steps out and he sees the aftermath, and he's looking off to the direction where she blew away, and he's just like looking. And it's funny because the theater is silent, and I point out, I'm like, there she is. She's over there. And Stiff Kittens and Poison are both looking like, where? I don't see her. I just start laughing, and they're like, oh, you're kidding.
I had issue with that scene too because he was only like maybe 2.5, 3 feet being exposed to that magnitude of an explosion, and nothing happened to him. Like, it's like, really, dude? Your eardrums would have probably blown out. You would have had bleeding behind your eyes because of the pressure from the force of the blast. So I was like, okay, this is when I tell myself, this is a movie, stop. So I'm like, okay, all right.
Turn off your brain, Zom. Turn off your brain.
Yeah, that is a quote that we use. Because Zom said it. I forget which episode it was, but ever since he did, we say it on every episode. Say, okay, as Zom would say, turn off your brain. And we bring it up every episode now. Because there are moments where you're just like,
magic.
Movie magic.
If we ever get, CFC shirts ever printed, well, hopefully, maybe.
Turn off your brain.
Yeah, we have corpses for conversation. And on the back, turn off your brain.
You know what? I'm thinking I should probably do like a homage, since this movie did an homage with the Jaws scenes. I should probably do an homage to Captain Spaulding and have myself doing like that. And then on the back it says, movie
magic. That would be pretty sick. When this film debuted, guys, and I know, sometimes we bring up the Rotten Tomato meter. I do. But this is a good thing. Because when it first debuted, this movie was a solid 100 for a couple days. And finally, there was one person that finally gave it a little bit of a negative review. And the reason being was that he felt that Godzilla was not on screen for enough of the time. But when he did that, Yamazaki actually tweeted about it. They said, hey, you got a negative review. And he tweeted, he just said, finally, LOL. Because he was expecting people to say something. And he wanted to find the first guy.
Okay, so then that guy hasn't seen any Godzilla films prior to that film, because if you look at all the other ones, Godzilla.
It's probably CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Screw that guy, man. Anyways, yeah, like Godzilla hardly comes out in any of the films.
True.
It wasn't until the American versions, the more recent ones, I mean, where you see him a lot more. I mean, that critic has never seen another Godzilla film other than probably the American ones. But nonetheless, you know what? I was surprised on how well it was received here in North America. You know?
Oh, no, yeah, we've become fans of it since it's come over across the pond. In Japan, the numbers were phenomenal. Like, they broke all their box office records again for
And it just goes to show that Godzilla is still a hit.
It's a beloved institution.
You know, they made like 1 billion zen. I don't know what that is.
1 billion zen?
I don't know.
Yen, sir, 1 billion zen. You're going to get their currency.
That's Dragon Ball Z currency, man.
Yeah, sorry. I have Dragon Ball Z on the mind.
And for a foreign film, I mean, it opened in, 3,500 theaters? That's
just not the one near me, which was unfortunate, but whatever.
So
you live in buttfuck, you know.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I know when we went to go see it, I don't know if you guys caught it, but there was someone talking in the theater. And at first it was a little annoying. No, it wasn't me. First it was a little annoying. I'm like, are you serious? But then again, it turns out it was a dad who was translating or reading the subtitles to his kid. I'm like, okay. You can't knock him for that. I'm like, all right.
You get a pass. You get a pass.
Yeah. You know, so
you had to read the whole movie.
Yeah, you know.
Damn. That takes us back to Demons when he was like the blind guy in the theater. What's happening now?
Oh yeah.
Godzilla stepping on people. Oh, wow. Scary.
It's okay. That's just tomato juice. They're fine.
I still can't get over the kid with the shotgun.
I like that one, SoCal. That was that Ned Flanders reference. It's strawberry jelly. There's nothing wrong. It's okay.
What's the red stuff coming out of?
That's just raspberry jam.
Oh, man. And then you guys, I know this isn't a Final Guys episode, but we have once again topped our kill count for a single film. They had announced after Godzilla's first, trample through the city, his frolic through the town, that he went ahead and he killed at least, they said 30,000 people are dead, with an additional 20,000 either missing or injured.
Let's not forget as well to mention that they put in this movie, and I forgot which one of the older ones of the Godzilla franchises they covered in, but part of the way they know Godzilla's coming is you can see the trail of dead deep sea fish because of his radiation. He was killing all kinds of aquatic life as he was swimming through the water, leaving trails of dead fish everywhere.
That makes sense. I thought that they were coming out of his mouth, like he was down there eating, and then like the heads are coming up. And I'm like, where are these fish coming from?
No, what I thought, and I'm like, I don't know why these look like. That sounds so bad. But
what do they look like?
They look like ripped off dicks. I don't know why.
What did he say?
Where the hell is your brain?
I was like, what the hell?
He's just ripping everybody's dick off and then
all this big.
The mush.
No,
he swallows the people and spits out the dicks.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I honestly thought it looked like a bunch of, for me personally, it looked like a bunch of dead, Magikarps from Pokemon. There's tons of dead Magikarps.
Oh, good.
I mean, let's just talk about the third act. Now, I thought at first how the third act played out, I thought, man, this is going to be a little underwhelming. But I'm glad I was wrong. How they set everything up, so good. The strategy, and they did get, I think it was a German plane, right? That they fixed.
Yeah.
This one had ejector seats,
Yes. Or how,
more ingenuity.
How he punked that battleship cruiser. Oh, that was great.
No,
he
definitely.
punked that thing so bad. He's like, "What? You gonna go shoot at me?" Bam!
They set up this plan to basically sink Godzilla to the bottom of the sea. With all these battleships and etc. Basically, it was built up like a chess game and how they were going to do it and how Godzilla was going to fall for it. I thought it was really well structured.
Definitely.
Everything came out, I was like, oh my god. I think my favorite part in that was when all hope was lost. And one of the younger, I don't know, soldiers or partners in the film, they told him, no, you need to stay away. You need to stay on shore. What did this guy do? He brought the cavalry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh yeah, because he had the broken arm. He's like, "What can I do to help?"
The only scene I was wishing they put in there, since they put in the homages to Jaws, I was waiting for like that one sea captain guy to be like, "Oh, I've never seen one of these do this before, and I've hunted down a couple of them." And I'm like, "Well, that would have been phenomenal to see." He's like, "That's the first time I've ever had one take that many things down and still not." I was waiting for something like that, and it didn't happen. I was like, "Aw."
You know what I thought when I saw all those boats show up? God, this is a ripoff of Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, the cavalry comes
Yeah.
right before his kamikaze, like right before his plane comes. He gives off the other Jaws line, like, "Smile, you son of a bitch." It's like,
Okay, so obviously he was in the German plane. Like I said, just attention to detail on Godzilla's facial expressions. You could tell Godzilla was super pissed off at this dude.
Oh yeah.
He couldn't hit him. He's like, I'm gonna mess you up, man.
yeah. Did you see the way Godzilla looked when he surfaced? Because, like you said, their plan was to sink him down to the bottom, and that they used real life fatalities where it's like if you go down too fast, you can get that, bubbles in your brain, and you can, the bends, See, so they thought if we sink him way down super fast, that'll get him. If that doesn't work, we'll inflate him and bring him back up, which will create more in his brain. Yeah, dude, when he surfaced, he looked all messed up. You know what I mean? Like he did. You could see it all over his body. Like his skin was starting to like pop off and stuff. That it looked pretty crazy.
But he he was still pissed off. And the fact he's like, just, oh my god, he chewed through the rafts. Just. And I'm like, well, yeah. What do you think he was gonna do? But you think your plan was gonna go that smoothly? I don't think so, bro.
No. Not with Godzilla. Hell no.
I mean, this film seemed to be some type of alternate universe where what if mankind can actually defeat a monster? Typically, it seems like there's no chance. There's nothing we could do. We have to befriend Godzilla to save us from other big monsters if we actually would have won.
What makes you think we haven't defeated any monsters?
Exactly.
True. Very true.
Welcome to CFC Conspiracies.
Exactly. we can only suppress them.
Another subgenre within a subgenre and another subgenre. How many do we have so far?
Cue the Men in Black music.
Now, like, the big finale of the whole movie was, they basically surround him. Our main actor was just gonna take a nosedive right into his mouth. Now, the funny part of this, Dine was mentioned this too, and he's like, screw it. You don't know what happens to him, but you find out in the end. All of a sudden, the airplane goes, meow. It gets stuck. There's no explosion or anything. It's like
no expression, nothing. Like Godzilla doesn't even move. He's just he just takes it.
I think he's a little frozen because of all like the drop of temperature. When he went super deep, it must have like turned him into ice or something. I think he was a little frozen. Maybe that's why he was so slow.
And then I remember Poison like, oh my god, he used a parachute. Oh, like she was already like getting super. Oh my god, there he is. Okay, you were right. Got it. Calm down. But
if you know German, it actually has it on the side of the plane. When it was inside the hangar, it actually had a warning about the parachute mechanism. Ejection seat.
Dime paying attention to the details.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of looking at how many was there? Maybe 7 of us that went to go see that film. And I like to look at everyone's facial expression. Right when Godzilla's mouth explodes, and I'm looking at all of us, and everyone's mouth is open. Fuck. Just like
Now, mind you, TJ doesn't do this because he wants reactions. It's because he's like, you guys better fucking be liking this movie.
Okay, there's some truth to that.
You better.
I'm there.
They drive 2 hours in traffic for nothing.
Did you see what he did?
The whole big explosion. I thought at this point I was, oh man, this still isn't going to stop him. But when they just blew his head right off, I was, wow. That's like some Mortal Kombat kind of type stuff.
Fatality.
Yeah, it was. And then all of a sudden...
Explosion.
It was
Explosion, everyone. Yes.
It was a minus favorite head of Godzilla.
Everyone knows SoCal loves head explosions.
And yes, that Leonardo DiCaprio meme. where he's pointing at the screen. That was SoCal.
Explosion.
Looked over to see his expression, and I see like the smirk on his face, like, oh yeah.
My only gripe, but I thought would have added to the whole kamikaze pilot reference again, was when he was flying into Godzilla's mouth. I'm like, why aren't they cueing Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash? Like, that'd be great going down. Like, going right for you, dude.
And speaking of cueing music, it was dead silent. The theater was dead silent. All the people on the boat were dead silent. They're like, this is it, guys. Everyone was like saluting. Yep. We're dead. This is it. We tried. And that's it, man. This is it. You can't defeat Godzilla. And then you just hear that little plane from a distance. And everyone looks over and it's that dude.
Yeah, because you can see him charging up. That's why I was like, oh,
It kind of reminded me of Randy Quaid's scene in
Independence Day.
Yeah. Like, it's like, sorry, I got held up back there, you know?
Sorry, you know when Godzilla...
I've been waiting to give this lizard asshole some payback.
You know when he charges up and it starts at the tip of the tail, it works all the way up the back and it shoots out the mouth? It'd be funny if because he blew off his head, it just shoots straight up out of his neck and just goes into the sky.
It blows another planet up.
Like,
oh, man.
And there's a lot of more story to our main actors.
Yeah, they did layer it really well.
They did layer it really well, and especially at the end. And this is where it got me, okay? So I grown to love all these characters. When
here comes the waterworks.
Yeah, I like I said, I do not want to butcher anybody's name, so I'm not going to even try. But when our lead actress, you find out she's still alive, he runs, takes the little girl, never wanted to be like a father figure, but now I want to be this girl's father, runs to the hospital, and you see the girl, his love interest.
She's all fucked up. She's all fucked up.
She's alive.
Not even, dude. She has a broken arm.
Okay, and it was funny, like, didn't want to laugh. It was a
you did.
No, you guys say it right. You guys say it right. We were in the theater. You were like, no, no way, dude, she's alive, dude. Even before he even got to the freaking hospital, he's like practically grabbing onto me. I'm like, bro.
That was so unlikely that the more likely thing I thought happened was that he found out his parents were not actually dead. And I'm like, oh, is his parents just in a coma? Did they heal? His parents are okay? I thought they were going to bring that back. I did not expect what we got.
Then you see the parents get at him. You had a child out of wedlock. You didn't let us know. Like, you brought shame to the family again.
Again.
It was funny to go back to what Dime said. Dime was sitting on my left. Poison was sitting on my right. And I guess I would just...
Did you say Dime was sitting in your lap?
No,
that doesn't sound
like Dime was sitting to my left, and I said Poison was sitting to my right. I don't know why. Maybe I was just lazy to shift to the right to grab Poison, but Dime was closer, so I was like,
He wanted a manly embrace. Hold me.
It was a bromance.
Grab my pack.
You buy me dinner.
I mean, overall, before we get to our rankings, or this film was so beautiful. And you could tell it was a passion project. But there's no way we could count everybody. So just for this episode, we'll call it the destruction count. Or the destruction count. The destruction count.
The destruction count.
And I did bring that up, TJ, a little bit earlier. I think you may have stepped away, but I did say, I'm like, this film now has our record for the highest kill count of a film. I believe it was John Wick before, maybe, or maybe it was Demons with Zombies, but...
Good on Godzilla.
And then this one, they had said that there was 30,000 casualties with 20,000 people either missing or injured. And I'm like, okay, I think we got a new king of our kill count list so far.
Yeah, and from every episode from here on out, no one's going to beat that record.
Wait till John Wick 5.
Yeah, right? I'll start with me. Like, on the destruction meter, I give it a 5. It was just pure mayhem. When you have a pissed off, mutated lizard, shit's going to happen.
Destruction, I'll go ahead and go like a 4. Like I wanted them to see more destroying the city, not just being in the water the whole time. But
yeah, I'll go ahead and go next. I mean, if you guys follow our Instagram page, you would see our out of theater reaction, and if I can quote myself from there, Godzilla was just fucking up everything for no reason. He just got out of the water, destroyed tons of boats, buildings, trains. He was doing maximum destruction. Like as if anything was a threat to him. He had zero threat level the whole time, and he was just
He didn't care about women and children. So-
No, he was full Deadpool. Maximum effort.
Maximum effort!
Maximum effort. He was sure to get the women and children first. I don't know. But this guy, I give it a 5. That was destruction on a massive kaiju only.
Zombies.
Wait, this is destruction or overall?
No, just destruction.
It was
Okay.
just destruction.
Yeah, over.
Well, if we're just rating the destruction, yeah, it was a full on for me. Like I would have given it a full 5, but I'm gonna have to scale it back just one notch and give it a 4 because of the atomic blast not affecting them. I was like, meh. But for the most part of it, it was he was fucking shit up. He didn't care.
He shot a nuke out of his mouth.
Yeah,
Blew up the city.
So, like, if any of our listeners ever want to go back and just kind of brush up on their, Godzilla history, I mean, obviously we have the MonsterVerse, which is most of the movies are on, I believe, Max now. We do have Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, which is on Apple TV, but Tubi has a ton of old Godzilla films.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think maybe at least 15 different ones. So if anybody's interested, and then they got Rodan, Gamera.
And it's free.
And it's free, yeah.
Yes, very true. Big shouts out to Tubi. If you guys come across our episode, anybody working in the office over there, get at us, man. We want the sponsorship. We love Tubi.
Before we make like a tree and get out of here, what is our rating for this movie, fellas?
Right when it's like, the thing about Tubi is like right when you're about to see an intense moment, like it turns to a commercial for Charmin. Like, what toilet paper are you using?
You know what? I want to apologize to SoCal because I have a habit of doing that because I guess we get too into the conversation where I was like, oh wait, I forgot to ask him.
Oh no! I mean, I gave my destruction meter already. I was just throwing
just like the Tubi,
and I'm like, yeah.
So, what do you guys give it? You already know me. I gave it a 5. It's beautifully well done on every aspect.
5 across the board. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a 5 for me.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll go ahead and be the third one because, like we said, we all saw the movie together. And those of you that follow the IG page, you guys kind of got that spoiler. It is a 5 for me as well. It brought back all the stuff that we love from classic Godzilla films. They brought it to like this modern day, but without making it to, these day type movies. And I can't wait to see if they make a sequel to this. Let's see if they can make a -2. Who knows? I mean, when Godzilla blew up, I was like, oh, that's why it's -1. -1 Godzilla. And the only thing you see left of him is one sinking testicle. And then it starts to like get bigger. So he evolved from that. He grew back out of his testicle. And then we're going to get a -2. But
Godzilla got snards. What?
It'd be like Godzilla. 2 balls. I don't know. It's like a sequel.
2 balls, 1 city. I don't know.
What about you, Mr. Haterade?
Oh, in the title and the name, it's going to stake the claim. I got to bring a little bit of haterade in here, and it was strictly, even though they put those scenes in there as an homage, just for the fact that I was able to correlate them like that. I'm gonna give it about a 3.6. It would have got way higher if they would have went a different direction with that.
This is our first 0.6, guys.
Yeah, I know, right?
0.5 or a solid number? We got a 0.6.
3.6. Got to be fair. It was good, but it kind of threw it off a little bit for me.
You could tell he really thought about this then if he had to give it a point something, Okay, Freaks, Geeks, Gals, and Ghouls, that is our review for Godzilla -1. I was going to say 0.
-0. Apparently, he came back.
Yeah, for the longest time, I don't know why I would always say Godzilla -1. Or not -1. Negative 1.
Negative 1.
Yeah. And then I was like, negative, minus, whatever. It's the same. Not really, but as always,
math for you.
I'm Toxic King, aka the Evil Dead Batman, along with
SoCal Leatherface.
I'm Bag the Club.
Richard Zahn.
And I said it once, and I'll say it again. Why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Be kind. A little bit of audio.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck?
I know, we had like a cat, like, meow.
Yeah.
That was me. I was trying to do Godzilla.
That was like Godzuki.
Oh, goodness. Be kind. Rewind.
Watch out for those lot lizards.
Don't go Godzilla.